Hello, hello, crafty peeps. Welcome back to my channel, Crafty-ish Kristen. Today, I'm going to be working on my cross-stitch conversion project. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are not new, welcome back. If you have never seen one of these, I am taking a cross-stitch pattern and turning it into a diamond painting. This is what my finished project will look like. The name of the design is titled Geode, and it is by Electric City Stitches on Etsy. The finished size will be about 121 centimeters by 121 centimeters. There is 136 colors, and I am using 3 separate canvases that are about 45 centimeters this way by 120 something centimeters that way. This is panel number 2, so we're about right here. I am working on this square right here. I did put some drills down already. I find that helps me kind of use those drills to put other drills down and work off from them, especially when I am yapping and not paying attention. Spoiler alert, I already screwed up once. So it'll probably happen again. I am using Pattern Keeper. Don't know how you would do it without it. I know you can. I don't think I could do it without Pattern Keeper. It makes finding what symbol you want to work on next a breeze, and that way I can put all of my drills, which are in these. There's 2 trays of those. I can keep those in DMC order, and I can just use the DMC number that pops up here with the symbol to show me which one it is. So no trying to arrange the symbols all together, you know. I mean, and sometimes, like, if you can see, sometimes the symbols can be a little confusing. Oh, it is not focusing. Come on. There you go, friend. There you go. Yeah, just lifesaver. Absolute lifesaver. What supplies am I using? Canvas is from Evermoment. The drills are from a company I'm not recommending. Bee's Crafty Corner for release papers. I know Halloween is over. This was the closest piece of release paper I have. And shockingly, I don't have any fall or Christmas papers yet. All I have are happy, bright, colorful, like spring, summer papers and Halloween paper. So this is what we're working with right now. It's fine. Pippi does not mind. This is one of the 3D printed pens from Dynamite Diamond Shop on Etsy. I will have everything listed in the description box. I love it because you drop it and it doesn't roll away. And this is their 3D printed single placer tip and the 3D printed super skinny 10 placer. I am using some Lucky Alien Putty. A dark and creepy friend sent me a few samples of a few different alien putties that I did not have to see which ones I might want to try to, you know, buy later on. And this is a Flowa Designs tray. Can't really read the Flowa because it's in white, but I promise you it is there. This is the medium tray, and I love this tray because, like, you can see my hand. I can hold it, and it's not too big. It's not too small. It is probably way too big for what I am doing today, but it was the closest tray, and so it's getting used. I'm not mad about it. So anything else? I have a pair of pink tweezers and a pair of pink scissors in case I need them. I may need the tweezers, probably won't need the scissors. I did already, rolling. I have already cut the plastic on here. You can kind of see the line. What I do is I cut the plastic, but leave the plastic until I'm ready for that section, and then I will cut a little bit and put the release paper right there. I find with this canvas, I don't know if it's just Evermoment or just the canvases I got, but if I take the plastic off this whole row and put release papers down, I feel like the drills slide a little bit more the longer it's been open to the air. And even with the release papers, it's still a little questionable. So I definitely have to roll this up and put it away so my cats don't chew and lick it. Not that that's ever happened to one of my canvases before. So let me get zoomed in and we will get started on our section. All right, first color, well, no, I mean, first color after every setup. This is the hardest set of videos to film and get set up because it does not make sense because you have to have so many different things near you in order to try and, do things properly. Okay, I'm worried I'm going to hit my hand on that tablet, but we will try it. All right, make sure to push the little marker tool. I hope everybody is doing good, well, amazing, and if you're not, I hope things get better for you very, very soon. It is currently Saturday here, and it is very dark and kind of dreary. So if it looks yellow, it's because my dining room light is on, and the dining room light is very yellow. I stupidly, when we were picking out lights, decided I was going to go for cuteness factor over function. And I picked a light that had really, really weird light bulbs in it that can't easily be switched out. So, yeah, my bad. My bad. And when I'm doing my conversion, I like to kind of mark off the drills as I go. Mainly because I don't trust myself to remember which ones I've done. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 down there. And I have, okay, wow, I did the right number. Go me. So if it's yellow, I apologize. I know a lot of people don't watch. They just diamond paint along. So, yep. It is what it is. As you could tell from, if you've seen my last video from this, I have not gotten anything else done on it. And that's okay. At this point, I'm just going to have to keep making videos with this canvas, so I might actually, finish it in the next year or so. Because this one section is all I've gotten done in an entire year. Because I really haven't worked on it. But that's okay, it's not a race. If you're not feeling a project, sometimes you don't have to force yourself to work on it. Ooh, that one has a hole in it. I just saw it. Where'd it go? Right here. Some of these drills that I got are so trashy. Oh my goodness. The really trashy ones, the ones that I found like the most curved bottoms and just junky drills in, I have highlighted on the bottles. So when I pick it up, I can see if there's the yellow highlighter on it, that I know that I need to definitely check my drills before, in the tray especially, just because if they've got the curved bottoms or whatever, then they're not going to sit nice and then they're going to fall off. And I am not going to go back through this pattern to try to find all of the the ones that, like the exact right color that came off. No, I will just fill it in with something similar and call it good. Because with this much confetti, you're not going to be able to tell. At least that's what I keep telling myself. There's that. Okay. I'm trying to kind of fill in my way this way. So number 4. What color is 3836? Oh my gosh, I gotta reach. 3836. 3836. Come on, 3836. There it is, right there. Obviously, this image has a lot of my favorite colors in it. It's got some pinks and some purples, and it has some teals too, but I haven't really hit the really teal section. There was a little bit of teal in the first panel, but I'm hoping to get a little bit more of the teal, you know, eventually when I get halfway down the pattern. See, so there is 4 going that way. So we had an exciting milestone here this week. Not a birthday, not an anniversary. Oh, no. My car hit 60,000 miles. I know, right? Crazy. Now, that is a milestone for me for a few reasons. I have only had one other car of my own that I have driven for 60,000 miles. And that particular car was actually the first car that I bought and paid off, you know, without, you know, like parental help and, you know, that kind of stuff. So I was really excited, you know. It was a, what was it? It was a Chevy HHR. And if you don't know what a Chevy HHR is, it's okay. It basically was Chevrolet's version of a PT Cruiser. And we purchased that. And I was still a nanny when we bought that. And it was a great little car. It was a good car. And about less than a year before we paid it off, I was rear-ended picking up my son from preschool. And oh, I just pushed something. What did I just push? See, I knew I was going to do it with my hand. Okay. That we're doing J. All right. So, do that again. See, maybe I shouldn't put that there. Let's move it up just a little bit. Okay. Anyways, I was picking him up from preschool, and it was in a decently busy area, I would say. So we were driving home, and it was probably, I want to say, hang on, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. I think it was maybe like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And we were coming down this hill, and, you know, I was stopping at the red light, as one does, right? I was following the rules. And the car behind me was not paying attention. And, you know, you look in the rearview mirror, and you see the car coming behind you, and a lot of times we think, oh my gosh, they're not going to stop, and they do. Yeah, no, this time I was like, oh, they're not going to stop. And they didn't stop. And they plowed right into me. I don't know for sure, but I think she was texting. And it was somebody who wasn't, you know, wasn't like an overly like young person or anything. She was probably, you know, 30s, 40s. And she was really panicked when, you know, I jumped out of my car and instantly went to the back seat to, you know, make sure my kid was okay. And we were right next to we were at a light, and if you turn right at the light, then there was a hotel. So we both pulled into the hotel. Thank goodness she didn't, you know, hit and run, because I've had that happen. Foreshadowing right there. And, you know, we exchanged information. The whole back end of my car was just torn off. And I was pretty freaked out. You know, my poor kid was freaked out. Okay, I think I forgot one of those there. Well, you know what? We're just going to put this here, and it's fine. And so we, you know, exchanged information, and luckily she was an honest person. So that was nice. And I had a rental car for a month, I remember, because the insurance did fix my car. I mean, the whole back end was completely torn off of it and like damaged and stuff, but it was fixable. So then it was probably a year later, and it was the 21st of December. And I remember that day because we've had actually 2 cars that have gotten totaled or, died on that day. So it's kind of like you feel nervous driving your car on that day. And it was the 21st, and my mom and I had a hair appointment, and my son was like, he was 3 or 4, and so he would come with us, and he would play with the lady's dog and stuff like that. And so we decided we had time, we were going to go to breakfast. And that morning it had snowed just a dusting. And when I say a dusting, I mean it was not, it was literally a dusting. There was a little bit of snowy slush on the road. Not enough that you would think would cause accidents or anything like that. But, people are stupid, so they can get into an accident in any kind of weather, really. So, we drove carefully. We were responsible. And so we go to this breakfast place, and we go in, and we're eating our breakfast, and we go to pay, and we go to leave, and we're hearing, hang on, grab this one, oh my gosh. We are hearing people, like, talking as they're coming into the restaurant. And they were saying, man, I can't believe somebody hit those cars in the parking lot. And man, that PT Cruiser is crushed. And, being the person I am, I'm like, well, that's good that my car didn't get hit because I don't got a PT Cruiser. Yeah, no, they weren't talking about a PT Cruiser. They were talking about my car. So we go out. My car is sandwiched in between 2 other cars that both had been hit alongside of me. And somehow both cars had been crunched into my vehicle. I wish I could have seen how it happened, because it did not make sense at all. So naturally, I was shocked. I'm like, oh my gosh, my car. Nobody saw anything. And so we're like, what do you do? So we called the police, and the 2 other people who, had been hit, obviously. Oh man, putty on my, this is too, yeah. Lucky is not the putty for me. It is too soft for me. Okay, oh geez, what did I leave off on? Okay, this one. So the police were called. Police came, took all of our statements, and was like, okay, well, yeah, we don't really, know what to tell you. Like, well, thanks, great. But we did, file a police report, and we did call our insurance and just let them know, and they were like, oh yeah, we just talked to somebody who is one of the other cars. We talked to somebody, the person with the white Ford Explorer. I was like, well, that's great. So at least I didn't have to explain the situation because somebody had already done it. But because it had been snowy, slightly snowy, not crazy snowy, but just, snowy enough to screw everything up, I had to call AAA because I couldn't drive my car. Well, there was it's a 2 or 3 hour wait with AAA. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I have, a 4-year-old and my mom with me. It's cold outside. And so luckily my in-laws came because they lived not very far from where we were. And they picked them up, and they all took all them home basically. And I waited for AAA. Luckily I waited in the restaurant, and then the AAA person drove me home and dropped my car off at the auto body shop or something like that. Oh, no, that's not true. He didn't drive me home. He wasn't allowed to drive me. I could only be dropped off the place where he dropped my car. And I was like, I don't really want to go to the auto body shop. So then my mom came and picked me up at the restaurant. So not really how I wanted to start off the, you know, the few days before Christmas. So naturally, you know, the auto body shop is like, yeah, you know, we'll look at it. We'll look at it. Well, they call me on Christmas Eve day. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it was, you know, I think it was like 3 o'clock or something. And they're like, yep, your car's totaled. And I was like, that is not what I wanted to hear on Christmas Eve. That was kind of a bummer because it just, you know, it wouldn't have been worth fixing the car, how much damage that had happened to, you know, financially, it wouldn't have made sense for the you know, insurance company and all that, which I get. And so the insurance company called me, and, you know, me not fully understanding how insurance works, I said, you know, they said, well, yeah, you know, so, you know, we'll cut you a check for your car. And I don't remember how much they gave me. It was more than I thought they were going to give me. But in my mind, I was thinking that insurance would just pay for me to get a new car. No. Because they said, yeah, you know, we're going to send you a check for, you know, I think it was like $15,000 or something. And I remember I said to the insurance guy, and I said, that's not going to buy me a new car. And he said, no, we don't give you enough to buy a new car. We give you what your car's worth. And I think I said something like, well, that's a bunch of shit. I don't like that. I can't buy a brand new car with that. And he's like, yeah, well, that's, you know, that's unfortunate. I'm like, yeah, it is. That's not how I want to start Christmas off. So I was thinking maybe I was going to get myself a brand new car free of charge, but no. So I had a nice little down payment for a new car, but, you know, still had to pay the difference. Okay, so see this one right here? That one has the yellow highlighter. This one is super trashy. So that was not, you know, not what I wanted to do. So luckily, you know, we went car shopping and I got myself a new car, but still, it was not really. I was so bummed because that was the first car that I had paid off, right? You know, without lots of assistance, and I felt like an adult. And I think I had it less than 6 months after fully paying it off before it got totaled. So, my car now, we hit 60,000 miles. And I was excited, but I'm also had that weird feeling of, you know, panic and dread. Thinking, oh no, now it's just a matter of time before this car gets totaled. I'm not planning on totaling it. I mean, I don't want it to get totaled. I like my car. It works pretty freaking good for 60,000 miles for a car that's 7 years old is not too shabby, I don't think. But I still have that little that fear in the back of my mind of your days are numbered. And I don't want it to be like that. So if I ask my husband, he'll be like, no, you're not getting a new car. It's like, well, I'm not saying I'm going to get a new car. It's just, if it gets totaled, then I kind of have to get a new car. It's not, you know, we don't live somewhere where don't be, I pushed it again with my hand. We don't live where public transit is easily used at all. Okay, I am going to move you just a little bit away from my hand. Okay. So how did it happen? Well, I've been watching the odometer, as one does, and I'm sitting there, you know, counting the hours, not the hours, the miles, counting the hours, counting the miles. And so I kind of had an idea, you know, on, I don't know, whatever day it was. I think it was Tuesday? Maybe it was Tuesday. I don't know. I picked up from school and, you know, I was like, okay, there, you know, we got home and there was 12 miles until it hit 60,000. And so I said, okay, tomorrow before school, we're going to take a detour before we get to school. So, you know, we can hit the 60,000. Because I knew if we didn't take a detour that it would happen while I was in the car alone. And then, you know, no one else would get to witness the miracle of the turning over to 60,000. So we left, and we didn't really leave early, which then I was all panicked thinking we were going to get to school late. We didn't. It was late for me. Let's put it that way. I like to be early, and we were not early. So that leaves panic and anxiety in my heart. It's okay. I survived. So we're driving, and we go through this one neighborhood because it's really dark. And I'm like, well, I don't want to go, too crazy. And so we just kind of went past the school. We went through this neighborhood. We're driving, and my sense of direction is atrocious, and I fully admit that. And we're driving, and I'm like, okay, we took a left, we took a right. We're going through this neighborhood, and then we kind of end up on a road that I thought I knew the road. I thought I knew what road I was on. I did not. So we're driving and watching, and I said, okay, just watch the thing, and when we get to, what did I say? I think it was like 96, I'll turn around and we'll go back towards the school, because there was only 7-8 miles left before it turned. And we're watching it, and I'm like, where do I turn to go back to the school? I'm like, I don't see the road. And so I had my son pull it up on MapQuest, and he's like, you turn it like 190 something. And I'm like, okay, great. So we pass a street that says that number, and I was like, that is way too, that's too dinky of a street. That's not the right street. So we drive past it, and then he's like, oh yeah, well, okay, now it says there's another, 1.5 miles. And I'm like, that's not right. And we're driving, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, this road is just going in a circle. And he's like, what? And I'm like, we are just going in a circle. This road is not, it's going in a circle. I'm like, how is the road going in a circle? I didn't even think roads could do that. And so we finally turn, we get back to the school, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how many times I would have went around this road that's going around a lake in a circle. Because at first I was like, man, there's a lot of those, what do you call them? Those little, like, the street sign things that says, 25 miles an hour, and it'll tell you your speed, and it'll tell you to, slow down. It never tells you to speed up. I thought to myself, man, how many of those are there on this road? And there was a tree that had white kind of Christmassy lights, but they weren't Christmas lights. And then there was one kind of a few houses down that had purple lights. And, we're driving, and I just kept thinking, man, a lot of these houses have the same thing over and over. And then I realized, no, I'm just literally past the same houses probably like 5 or 6 times. So, yeah, my bad. But we got it on video. Yay! We got the turnover on video. It was a little less exciting as I was hoping, just because I was slightly frustrated by getting turned around in a basic area, but it was fine. We got to school. Nobody was late. Hip, hip, hooray. Hopefully I have another, knowing myself, I don't think I would drive a car for 120,000 miles. It could happen, but I would not hold my breath on that one. But that's okay. My car should last a good long while, as long as, everything plays nice. Please play nice. Yes, so the 21st of December is a cursed day in our house. As I mentioned, with the first car death on that day. The following year, my husband was out, and I think him and a friend had gone somewhere, and they were coming back, and it was dark, and his car just the engine just kind of blew up on the side of the road, basically. That was the same day. And ever since then, I know I can't stay inside all the time, but I really don't like the idea of driving my car out on that day, just because that day has taken out 2 cars already. And I don't think there was, I'm trying to think, I don't think there was a third instance of bad car luck on that day, but I honestly can't remember. Was there? I don't know. There could have been, but nothing as bad as the first two. So yeah, so 2 years in a row, we had to get new cars right after Christmas. And it would be fine, you know, if somebody was just delivering a brand new car to our house and, you know, we didn't have to pay for it. I was always jealous of those, you know, the car commercials around Christmas time when people get a brand new car and there's the big bow on it. Like, oh man, that'd be so cool. You know, a brand new car waiting for you outside on Christmas morning with the snow. Although if it was snowing, there's no way I would drive a brand new car. People in our area are ridiculously stupid when it comes to snow. The problem is our area is so hilly and curvy, and nobody has the infrastructure yeah, that word, you know what I mean, right? They're just not equipped to deal with snow. You know, we have lots of side roads and it just doesn't, yeah, it just doesn't work very well. Okay, where is this one? Oh, sometimes I've noticed with this, and I don't know, you can't really see, but sometimes the colors don't quite look what they look like on here, what they look like on your actual pattern. So if you're doing that, it's not you. Sometimes I think the colors just, they show up a little bit differently for some of them. That always throws me off though, because I'm looking, like I'll be looking for a gray, like right here, this one right here, it looks gray on the pattern to me, but it's purple. Still easier than using paper. Yeah, this is definitely the kind of project that, I mean, some people could work on just this, right? And that's their main project. I could not, because I diamond paint to mainly relax. And sometimes this is not relaxing. Sometimes this is very frustrating. And it does take a little more brain power to do it, because you have to kind of count and, you know, make sure you're not completely screwing up. And if you are somebody who, you know, like let's say you need to finish one project before you move on to another project, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, I did that one. See, it just didn't mark off. Then you might get frustrated that you're not finishing anything else because you're working on something like this. Then it takes a little bit longer. I think it sometimes can take longer than you might think it will. So, whoa, I just bumped my head. So, I have absolutely no problem with having multiple projects started at once. So, it slightly annoys me sometimes that I don't work on this more often, but not enough to stress myself out about it. But you know, I mean, I can let a project carry over into, you know, another month or another 2 months, and you know, it is what it is. But I know some people can't do that. And there are different kinds of cross stitch patterns as well. Not every pattern is ginormous. I mean, if you go to, you know, Heaven and Earth Designs and some of the other sites, then yeah, there are some big boys, but there are some small ones. I have purchased from an Etsy shop. I think it's called the Stitch Patterns, and they have like little kind of like snack size ones that would probably come out to be maybe the size of a Paint Gem Mini. And those would be awesome, I think, if you were just trying to dip your toes in the water to see if you even, you know, would like the process. And a lot of those are also not super confetti heavy. I did buy a few of the ones from the Stitch Patterns, and I actually was going to try to use up some of my art dot drills, because the conversion project I bought those for was a hot mess from start to abandonment. But what I kind of liked about the ones from the Stitch Patterns was that because they're a little more simplistic in their design, you wouldn't have to use the DMC colors that they ask for, because a lot of them were only, 5 or 6 colors, and they're very color blocky. So if you didn't have that exact color, you could easily switch it out for something else. Or like, let's say the pattern was, pink, purple, yellow, orange, etc. If you didn't want to do with that, you could easily switch, the pinks to blues, or the yellows to a different yellow, or whatever. And there are also medium size patterns as well. I know a lot of people think that Heaven and Earth Designs is the only place where you can buy a cross stitch pattern, and that is not the case. I do have on my Facebook group, link is in the description box, in the featured pinned comments tab, whatever you want to call that, I don't even know. I do have a post where people have posted places that they've got cross stitch patterns from. And some of them also too, if the person who posted the website, if they know that the pattern is compatible with, Markup XP or Pattern Keeper, that they've said that as well, which is helpful, because you would hate to buy a pattern from somewhere only to have it not translate to your pattern software, if that's what you're using. I mean, you don't have to use software. It just makes it easier. I mean, I know some people will get, the really old, hang on, I did something wrong. I'm just going to put that there. Some people will get, some of the older magazines, and do patterns from, like the 1980s, the 1990s, even like, the early 2000s. And you might not be able to put it into Pattern Keeper, but you could do any pattern as a diamond painting. It just takes a little bit more effort on your part. And the more effort I have to do sometimes, the less likely I'm going to do it. All right, there's that. We got that. Where am I going? Okay, there's that. Nope, go in there. Go in there, please. There's that. There's that one. If I had the patience, I would buy one of those amazing Heaven and Earth Design ones, like the big ones. I would really worry about my my follow through on something like that. It would seem very, very overwhelming, and I don't know how like what the stitch count is and whatever's. I know some of them, like, so if you're ever curious about, you see a pattern and you're like, wow, I really like that, but you're kind of confused as to how do you know how big that is going to be as a diamond painting, for example. So this pattern is 450 stitches by 450 stitches. And the way that you, wait, that right? Yeah, it is. Okay. The way that you figure that is, make sure, I covered one on accident. That's fine. It's fine. Nobody saw that. You would either times that by 0.25, or you would divide it by 4. Because a square diamond. Hang on, let me find the one I'm looking for. 3743. 3743. A square diamond is 2.5 millimeters. And 4 diamonds make up 1 centimeter on your pattern. So your 450 stitches across, then divided by 4 or times 0.25 equals 100 and no, wait, no, it's like 122. Let's use a different number, because now I'm like going, is my math right? So if you're let's say it's 400. Let's just make it an easy number, Kristen. Good God. So 400. So if you said, get in there, you jerk. See, now it's popping up. If you had a pattern that was 400, let's say it's 400 by 400. So 400 divided by 4 is 100. So then your drill area would be 100 centimeters. If that makes sense, I hope it does. It makes sense in my brain. Oh, see, putty. Here I thought I would need the tweezers just to be getting diamonds out, but it's rogue pieces of putty. Yeah, so I mean, so even like, yeah, but if you see one that's, 700 and something or other, it's still going to be a big finished canvas, That's why I recommend, if you're going to do a cross-stitch conversion, that you break up the canvases into, manageable sizes. Think about the diamond painting size that is your, like your sweet spot, right? For some people, they don't care. It's like whatever size works is what I'm doing. For me personally, I don't want to work on anything that's wider than 60 centimeters in one way, because it's too confusing for me. It's too hard to manage. It's a lot, and I get bored. So I would never, ever, ever get a canvas that was wider than 60 centimeters. That's why I got the canvases that I got them in 45. And there is some extra on the end, just in case I screwed up my measurements. I did measure, several times, but you never know. Because it's always better to have a little bit extra than to be short. And with something like this pattern that I'm working on, if I screwed up and I had to leave a row off, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But if you have, an Amy Stewart elaborate bookshelf one with tons of detail and tons of, little things going on, that would be devastating, It would totally screw up the whole thing. So measure and measure and measure and measure and measure and measure and measure again. What is going on? There we go. Okay. There's all those. I'm fine with the canvas being long and curling into my lap, the unfinished area, and then as you work on it, then, the finished area can get rolled up. But I don't have the widthage to be doing a, 100 and something centimeter wide canvas on my dining room table. Nope. 775. But some people might prefer to work on a wider canvas instead of a longer canvas, or, I personally don't know how I'm going to attach all 3 canvases together. I mean, I kind of have an idea. I've seen some things, and I have kind of an idea, but I think that's something also too, that you might just have to have all the canvases finished and really look at it and try to figure it out. My thinking for that right now would be, because I left space on the end of the canvas over here, so that part is sticky, and it's going to be sticky on canvas number 1, canvas number 2, canvas number 3, and they're all going to go next to each other. So my thought process is that maybe I can use that stickiness and cut off the edge like over here and kind of stick that directly next to that one, and then also maybe put some duct tape or glue or something to help adhere it together, because it's going to be heavy. It's going to be really, really big and heavy. And I asked at Michael's about dry mounting and how big of an item that they can dry mount, because that would definitely be something that would benefit from some extra structure. And I can't remember what they said, because I was specifically asking because I was thinking about this project, but I don't remember because that was like a year ago, and my brain has deleted it from its memory banks, so I'm sure I'll go back and ask. But that was another thing I was thinking of. It would help it maybe not flop over or collapse under its own weight. I don't think I would frame it with, glass and matting and stuff like that. I would like to hang this up when I finish it, since I've spent so much freaking time on it. I have a few places that I probably could, and I think maybe the best way to frame, come on, oh my gosh, this putty is not even sticking to my drills. I think the best way would probably be to maybe even put the canvas on the wall, attach it to the wall. Maybe if it's dry mounted, you could, command strip, or I don't really know, maybe leave a little border and nail the border into the wall, and then maybe build kind of a frame out of, molding around it. I don't know how much weight the canvas can take, or how much pull it could have on, itself. I don't know. I think that's one of those things where you just kind of have to wait until you're almost done to figure that out. Oh geez, spilling drills. Oh yeah, my hands look really yellow. I promise I don't have jaundice. It's just my overhead light. Did anyone else's kids have jaundice when they were born? It just made me think, when my son was born, oh my gosh, he was so jaundiced. Like, whoa. I didn't even know that was really a thing. And so we were over visiting my mom, introducing her and my dad and, to the baby, and I get a call from the hospital, and, they said, okay, well, we have somebody who's coming over to your house right now. And I said, what? They have the light bed for the jaundice. I'm like, okay, we're out. And they're like, well, you need to be there, or they're going to have to reschedule. And, this is really important, and your baby could get sick. And I'm like, oh my God, my baby's going to get sick, so then you're like frantically racing home, but you're not too frantic because, you got a baby in the car, and you've never driven with a baby in the car. So you're all kind of freaked out about that. Like, ugh. That was an experience. They said that he could lay on the light bed unattended. I'm like, I don't know about that. That seems like you want me to let my baby lay on this light bed, and all I kept thinking is, like, they're cooking my baby. And I'm like, oh wait, that was, oh okay, oh, that's not that one. See, I'm already screwing up. So my husband and I were basically taking turns staying up with him on this little, microwave light bed and feeding him, around the clock because he's a little underweight, and so we had to have the special high calorie formula and all that. Yeah, we were basically zombies the first 2 weeks. Like, I barely remember anything from that time. Let's see, we only got a few more colors left. Look at that. Let's see, we have 3841. 3841. Come, wait. Yes, 41. Oh my gosh, the furthest row. And I'm not drinking Dr. Pepper. It's very sad, but it is 6 o'clock at night, so I'm not really allowed to drink Dr. Pepper past 3 or 4 because I will not go to bed. So, don't kick me out of the club. Okay, that I feel like that's messed up. Well, you know what? I'm just making creative changes. That's all. I didn't mess up. Look, looks like it went there already. It's one good thing about something like this is most people will not know if you mess up. If it was somebody's face or something, well, then maybe, but nope, that one's got a little tabby bit on it. Okay, these are, they're like so, the only bad part is I'm not a super straight diamond painter, and so I definitely feel like when I do this, they're very crooked, but it is what it is. 168. I cannot believe it is November already. I am not ready, but it doesn't really matter if I'm ready or not because it's here whether you like it or not. And our diamond painting event is coming up. Me and Mushmello over at Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting. The pink and black event, or pink versus black if you want to get spicy, which, we kind of are, so. It works. 3685. We're not going to have too many rules and regulations, It's just going to be a fun paint along event, and all you need to do to hang is to work on something. It doesn't even need to be a diamond painting. You could be crocheting, you could color, you could bead, just do something crafty. And it needs to have some pink and some black. That's it. And if your pink is more, not pink and like flesh toned, or your black is technically 939, I'm not going to come over and check. So it's just supposed to be fun. There's no entry form. There's no, sign up sheet. We'll have some posts and some more official information closer to the date, obviously. But we will be doing our own separate whip parades on both of our channels. So if you just want to participate in hers, that's cool. If you just want to participate in mine, that's cool. Or you want your, picture to be featured on the internet and on YouTube more than once, then send it to both of us. We are fine. The whole point is just to have fun, you know, have a little bit of community, maybe, you know, some positive vibes, some good thinking, especially, you know, right after the holidays. I know a lot of people get stressed over the holidays, just, you know, with how much there is to do, or maybe you don't have a good relationship with, you know, maybe family or friends, or maybe you're away from family and friends. Like, you know, just try to start the year off with something a little fun, a little low stress, because none of us need more stress in our lives. So, oh my gosh, come on. It will be a drama-free event. Save the dramas for the llamas. I just saw this one move up. I have one color. See right here? I only have 12 of that color left. And this one, there's only 40. But I think I looked at the pattern as a whole, and I'm not going to get to any of those before the panel number 3. So it looks really exciting. Like, wow, I could get a 0. No, not for a while. That's not on my radar at the moment, but that's okay. I'm not overly worried about it. It would be cool, but I feel like that's going to be a panel number 3 thing. Maybe some of the blues and the teals, maybe like the beginning part of panel number 3. There's a tiny little bit of blue in like the bottom corner that would be a panel 3, but I don't know. Right? I have no idea why I just put those away. Oh my gosh. Seriously, what? I guess my brain's like, nope, you're done. No, I'm not. I'm not done with this section. You can't do that yet. So who is excited about Black Friday? I did not. I don't think last year I really bought anything for Black Friday. I'd already bought a lot of diamond paintings, and so I kind of felt like I didn't need to buy anything for Black Friday. And there were only a few things that really stuck out to me that I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, and even now this year, I feel like there's even more companies, like more diamond painting companies. And I feel like the tide has kind of turned a little. And so there aren't as many companies that have the FOMO, fear-mongering, you know, you have to buy this right now kind of mindset. Because now there are so many more companies where, yeah, it's going to take you a little bit longer to get it, but there's no guarantee, you know, there's no guarantee. There is no worry about them selling out of it. So, you know, you don't have to be on your phone at exactly blah, 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 and then, you know, rush to put everything in your cart and worry that, you know, you're going to buy it and then they're going to say, oops, our bad, we actually sold out. Just, yeah, that sounds so stressful, honestly. So I'm glad that there are more companies out there now that, you know, you can sleep in and then you can decide to shop, you know, when you want to shop. It's not going to be I better set my alarm. And I feel bad. I feel so bad for those of you who, you know, a lot of the companies are in America. And so, you know, they operate on America times, not other people times. And so if, you know, if it's, let's say it's 8 a.m. our time, well, that could be a completely different time for you. That could be the middle of the night or super early morning. And so if you want to get something that, you know, has a chance of selling out, you got to basically, you know, be up to do it. But But that's kind of the, I mean, every business gets to do things how they want to do them. But as consumers, we have the right to participate or not participate if we don't want to have to, you know, try to buy stuff like that too. I feel like I've been very good. I have not purchased any diamond paintings or any accessories in the last few weeks. I mean, I don't need anything, but when does that stop us? Okay, there's that. Got a few more little single ones up here. Then this section is almost done. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll wait and see if there's anything that I like that's showing up in the Black Friday madness. Okay, look at that. Just a few more. Oh, I love this one. I love this color. 917. It's jumping fish. That's what I call this symbol. It's jumping fish. This is why you always put the lids back on your bottles, because then when you start moving your hand around, that you don't knock them over. I'd love to blame my animals for why I spill drills or knock drills over and knock them on the floor, but most of the time, it's my own fault. And we've had no kitty helpers today. It is later in the day, and one kitty helper is sleeping in his box, and the other kitty helper is resting on my husband. So, yep, it's a cat-free day. I'm sorry. Nobody hit the down arrow or the thumbs down because there's no cats. I'm sorry. I can't do anything about that. Okay, two more colors. I think there were 3 colors in this section when I was trying to do some of the little single colors before I started filming. I think there were 3 or 4 where there were only 1 drill of a color or maybe 2 drills of a color, and that's it. So sometimes those ones are fun, but sometimes they're just kind of annoying. It's like I had to open up a bottle just for 1 drill. Come on. But that's how you get the detail. So if you don't want that, then you better get a fully color blocked canvas. 3687. 3687. Okay. Oh, little person. This one has been trashy too. Oof. Makes me nervous when one looks trashy and there's not a lot in the bottle in the first place. Like, some of these I do have refills for, but not many. It's mainly the whites, like the 939 and the navy blues and the browns and the darker colors and the grays. The rest of them, not really. I have some of the refills in this tray, my second tray, and then I have, oh my gosh, this is so tight. I always worry that I put an extra diamond in somewhere. The rest are in a different tray in a storage case that has the rest of the refills. But there's no reason to have them all out, like, so I'm trying to dig through everything. I will top them off if I notice they're getting low, or, you know, maybe if I hit midway through the panel, then I will do that. Okay, let's mark this off. All right, so, oh, So here's a little show of what we did. It says I've done 601 stitches. So that means that a box along the edge here or here has been activated. Even though I don't think I touched it, it got touched. So what you do is zoom out. Oh, look at that. It's right there. And then you hit the, what do you call it? Inspector magnifying glass. That's what it is. Hit that one. It'll show all those. Marker button. Push that and the little frog will come up. Frog means to clear. Hit that. There you go. Now it says 600 stitched. Much better. So I have done 72,750 stitches out of 202,499 stitches, and I am at 35.93%. And if we decide we want to fully zoom out, this is what we've accomplished. So I've done some. So I think it'll be very cool once I get the second panel done, and then this one starts to get filled in. That won't be for a while though. So there is that. So next time, probably the next video I work on, let's be real, I will probably be working on this section right here. So there we go. Oh man, let me see if I can zoom you out a little bit. Oh, I got my, oh, see, you're seeing behind the scenes footage right here. Got my weight on here so the canvas doesn't slip around. That is key when working on something like this. So that is going to be it for today, guys. If you have not, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, hearting, farting, doing all the things. And I will see you guys again very, very soon. Big awkward hugs. Bye, guys.